Good morning, everybody. Back to basement dig day number 2. So I'm going to finish digging this corner out right here this morning. Go ahead and get the machine repositioned to dig the connecting hallway to the house. And then I'm probably going to start somewhere over here and start cutting that side of the house out. I need to stockpile as much dirt as possible because if you were paying attention yesterday as I was digging the over dig, of course that's a 60-inch bucket, but it's a 3-foot over dig, and it was like 2 loads per side. So I mean, literally that's going to take like 8 loads of eight dump truck loads of dirt to backfill this section right here. So it's going to take a fair amount, plus the garage has got to be filled in. So but I knew this was going to be good clay for the road, so that's why I went ahead and used that. I think we're going to get into some nastier stuff farther down the hill that we added when we filled in that slope and built the pond, but I got a good spot down the path over there to use to fill that in. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig this out and then start digging the hallway. All right, let's dig the connecting hallway. This way this morning. Yesterday it was blowing away from me. Once I get through the first 2 feet, it gets a little bit of moisture in it. Not too terribly bad. Takes it, digging a basement's a little different than just hogging dirt. Kind of gotta take little scoops and just kind of finesse everything a little bit better. But at least a little scoop of this is still like 2 yards. Not to lose all my paint marks. Paint doesn't stick too good on dust. I think some people use like lime or something powdery. Off here anyways, that's where that tree was. So the dirt's all nice and loose anyways. Alright, that load is full. Time to go dump it, come back. Probably get probably 3 or 4 more loads. That should finish enough up for my road, I think. And then I'm going to start stockpiling the rest of it over there while I'm still in this cleaner material. Alright. Probably could have backed the truck up a little bit farther. It's hard
hard to tell sometimes when you're backing up next to a pit. That's the last thing you want to do, is back off into it. Turn the laser on. I did set up a benchmark over there yesterday, so if anything got moved, the tripod or anything, I can just reshoot off of that. I'll do that to confirm the grades are still the same. I did leave the tripod up last night, so that should be the same, but sometimes stuff can settle a little bit or get bumped. It's always good to reconfirm that the grades are right. It's easier to do it now than to come back and have to take out another 2 inches because something got screwed up. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. Sometimes the best life lessons are learned through experience. Alright, so I know that that's grade. What I do like about that bucket is it's got like 4 or 5 feet of just flat bottom. So if I can hold that level, pull that grade over and across, I know that I'm pretty good. I did bring my magnetic receiver. What I probably need to do is go ahead and clamp it on, stick there. Once I know that this grade is good, I can clamp it on. I don't know, the hoses might be in the way. Might be able to put it on the front side. No, they don't want to be able to see it. I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. Might have to move the laser down a little bit. To be determined. Dump that, check grade, and then start probably right there. Pull that back. Yeah. Alright, making progress. We've got 4 loads dug out, stockpiled. I feel like I probably need to stockpile probably about 30 some loads, I would think. I know it sounds like a lot of dirt, but it's not. It's really not. That's going to take 8 loads to backfill that. Yeah, it's going to disappear quickly around this house. So I'm doing it a little bit different. Normally I would cut my sides in, you know, digging perpendicular to it, but well, parallel with it, I guess you could say. I'm digging perpendicular to it right now, but being sloped, I'd have to kind of raise it up to level the machine out, and with as many little curves as there are right here, I would vary some of my marks. So just opted to dig it perpendicular. Not going to leave the prettiest paint, but it's just a hole, right? showed my grade was about a half an inch high for eyeballing it off that existing grade. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. This is actually a really good grading machine. Somebody put the grade rod right there where I can't extend the bucket out. I have to fire my help. Wait a minute. I don't have any. No. I like just kind of piddling away at it. That way I can just sit here and kind of focus on what needs to be done. Put the dirt where I want it. Get done when I get done. Alright. I gotta go dump that. Alright, let's attempt to cut this radius out. I'm gonna cut it more as like a bay window. Instead of round, it's kind of a little bit of a octagon there or whatever.
So I just checked it, but for eyeballing it, that's pretty doggone good. It's about 1 inch high, which I'd rather be that way than the other way around. It's about 2 inches high. I can scrape that down pretty easy. But yep, got that cut in. Let me walk up here and show you. I want to run and, well, I got to spread that dirt out over there so I can get out. We go grab the trailer, get the skid steer. They got it fixed. Luckily it was just a loose connection or something, go figure. But yeah, I've got all that cut out here this morning. It's just kind of time consuming getting all this stuff cut out. And I'll put the skid steer in there and clean all that up. I get back from lunch, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out. I'm just probably cut that straight across there. This is the garage right here. So I'm thinking what I can do is cut this, hog all that dirt out, and then just throw it right over there. And then even if I have to transfer it again to go ahead and put that in the stockpile, should be able to make pretty fast progress like that and get all this hogged out. Because like I said, I'm gonna probably need 30-40 loads of dirt for backfill. So that's 10. I need 4 times or 3 times that much. Yep, well, 4 times. All right, 10 more or 30 more loads is what I need. I'll get it out eventually. But other than the corners right there, that's looking good. That tree right there, it just screwed all that up. Had all the roots and everything broke loose. Oh well. All right, skid steer's back on site. So a lot of people ask, why don't I just get another one? Well, they're kind of hard to come by right now for a new one. I'd like to deal with my dealer because they've honestly treated me very fair, so I assumed to get one from them. Luckily, it was just a broken wire in there or a loose connection or something. They were able to get that replaced. And basement is coming along. I see Jeff has the drone up and above, so hear that flying around. Got that cut through. I'm gonna jump on the excavator now and get lined up right here. I'm gonna start cutting this side out right here and taking all that dirt and laying it over there into a stockpile where I can transfer it and or push it over there. Garage is gonna go right here. I don't want to fill this in right now because we still got to dig the footings, and that needs to be on solid ground. So let me get set up here and start digging this. Rocks. All right, so I'm working on this little section right here that is going to have to be undercut. I'm actually going to dig it out a little bit bigger
just so I can get good compaction all the way to the edge there, and then some. So it's about 3 feet bigger. I'll make it just a little bit. That way there's no saying, hey, we're right on the edge of good fill. About 18 inches closer, I think. Oh well. At least now I'm going to have some topsoil to backfill the road with. Weird dirt out here. I mean, you see how topsoily it is, but once it rains on it, all the rocks come to the surface and it turns hard as concrete. The reach is nice of this machine, being able to reach on across stuff. I don't know how I need to stretch it out with the 220 and see how much more reach I actually have with this thing. There's a log. I feel like I have a good at least 5 feet, maybe more. This is all that has to be undercut right here. I think we lucked out pretty good on a basement that's this big. I've had to do some undercuts on houses before, like I think the worst one I ever had to do was an 18-foot undercut. Old videos of that, still has a 210B. I think we had to put like 2,300 tons of stone back in there. It was crazy. It was like a 50 grand undercut back in the day. That was like 10 years ago. I'll come up here with the mini and the smooth bucket, trim that out a little smoother all the way to good solid ground. I can clean it up a little bit better. Dump that and finish this radius out and keep pulling some. Okay, so I got the far side cut all the way down to where it's actually only about 2 feet in the ground, and coming across the back right here I've reached our first area that's going to have to be undercut. Hopefully it's just this section right in here, because we dumped a bunch of those ashes and junk to fill into the hillside, and unfortunately his house ended up having to be slid down the hill farther than originally planned, because the septic has to go up top up there. So that slid the house down about 40-50 feet farther than it was originally going to be, which put the tail end of it right here to kind of where we filled in from the pond. I mean, you can see we got about 2 feet of fill from the pond, and then those ashes and junk down there. So what I'm gonna have to do is come in here, undercut this out down to red clay, and then as I strip the topsoil off behind me down to back to red clay, I'll put some dirt in here, bring the compactor over here, and just pack that in place. Totally normal for having to do a undercut. So honestly, that's really not that bad. It's only going to be about 18 inches deep, maybe, probably more like 12 inches. So that shouldn't be too bad as long as we don't get into, I don't think it's going to be too terrible right here. Won't know till we dig though. So made pretty good progress today, even though I had to waste a couple hours to go get the skid steer and lunch and grade the road. Still managed to get all of this dug out, all of that. Should be able to finish this up no problem tomorrow. Got to I'll come in here with the mini and we'll undercut that in the morning and go ahead and take, well, I got some of this clay, put that in there and bring the compactor over here and roll it in. That way all that is back level. But before I leave today, I'm gonna hop on the skid steer, run in here and just kind of slick this up and finish this floor off. Might have to come in here with the mini, but I'll see if I can bring the skid steer in here and maybe clean this up a little bit. That's really not bad right there, but there's a couple little humps right in there I need to cut down to finish that grade off. Well, that looks better. Took about 20 minutes to run around there and clean that up and square up all the corners. Looks like a nice square hole to me. And hallway. Once I get all that cut out, that'll really open that up tomorrow. We gotta look at the plans. That almost, I think all that has to be daylighted out. So I just have to look at the plans. Jeff has those and he's not here, so it doesn't really do me any good, but have plenty of other stuff to work on and come back tomorrow and finish digging all that out.